Mm. Hello everybody, this is Steve from the Tech Buzz, and today I have a really cool demonstration slash tutorial for you for the brand new Wirecast Pro 6. This can also be utilized with Wirecast 6 Studio. But I just wanted to kind of give you a brief overview for those that are upgrading today. It was just released today, and I wanted to kind of show you some of the new features and get you going in the right direction if you plan on upgrading from 5 to 6, which I highly recommend because 6 in itself, as you can see by the UI, has been updated for Retina. It also has 64-bit, which for those of you like myself who have a beast of a machine, can utilize all the RAM and the CPU now within Wirecast. So I've been using this for quite a while in beta and part of the Insiders Club, and it's very, very stable. It's one of the most stable versions of Wirecast I've used probably in a long, long time. So let's just kind of go over the interface here. As you can see, they've now added on the preview side a preview audio meter to where you can see if the audio is blown out so you can adjust it within that video shot. Comes in really handy, especially keeping all your audio relatively at the same loudness, I guess you would say. One of the things now you can add is a playlist. This is something that Wirecast users have been asking for a long time. So if you come down here to the piece of paper, click on it, and you click New Playlist Shot, you'll now see that there's a playlist shot. So if you double click it, you'll now have your playlist to edit. So what I usually do, simply because I want to have access to it all the time, I'll shrink my interface just a little bit so I can put my playlist here at the bottom of my Wirecast setup, and then I'll just kind of adjust it from here. But one thing that separates Telestream and Wirecast with the playlist from all the other companies out there, I'll tell you this, is the ability to add live camera feeds. And so right now I don't have any cameras connected here because it's basically just a tutorial. But I'll kind of demonstrate this from the perspective of adding. Let me just pull up my Finder here, and let's see if we have any movie clips in here that I can add, or maybe even some pictures. I don't know what I have. I've got some kids' Easter pictures. So what I'll do is I will, let's see if we got one. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add my kid's picture, and just bear with me here. So I'm going to double click it, and I'm going to add a lower third to it. Let's say the Royal. Let's just add this lower third. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the duration for it. So like by right clicking on it, I can modify the duration, or you can also hit the sprocket. So I'm going to set this for, let's say, 10 seconds. I'm going to click OK. Now I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to duplicate the shot. And I'm going to remove the lower third. I'm going to also set this for the duration. We'll set this for 10 seconds as well, which it's already set to because I duplicated the shot. I also want to add my audio shot into here, which is built-in line input. Probably should have did that in the first place, but for sake of demonstration, I figured, everybody that's used Wirecast, they kind of know to do that. So let's see if I have any other media down here. Yeah, I do. I have some throwing videos here, so let me just throw that in here. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to leave it obviously on the first one, and the duration for the video is going to be, I think it's 5 seconds or 6 seconds. So at the bottom here, you have the total duration of your playlist, which is 28 seconds. You have a checkbox that you could restore your previous active shot. You could cycle through your playlist shots via inside of the interface here. On this little drop down, you can choose whether you want the playlist to loop, to hold. You want to go back to, like in my case, the Intensity Pro shot. Or I could go to my Please Stand By PNG, which is up there in my main master layer 3. Previous live shot, or go to current preview. I always selected the current preview, and that's because I usually have my shot that I want next queued up in preview. You can also choose the transitions that you want inside the playlist. So these transitions here will only affect what's in the playlist. So now that we've got that situated, let's pull this up into the preview, and that's the playlist. Now let's hit go. And as you can see right below here, you'll see that there's a time. It tells you how much time is there. So if you're automating your show, you could actually you could actually not have to switch anything, and that's kind of what I like about it. So I could sit here and let's pull this up in preview because that's what I want to go live right after this video. So this video is going to be over here in about 3 seconds, and then it should go right to that we're experiencing technical difficulties. There we go. So you can see how powerful this playlist is if you utilize it, not just for recorded content, but also you could set up automations. Like if you're a business or if you're a school and you're not very comfortable with switching, you could basically automate your whole presentation and then allow the person to see this, whoever's sitting in front of Wirecast, and then you count down your talent like you're going to be switching to a video, 5, 4, 3, 2, and go from it. I mean, it's a very, very cool feature, and it's very simple to utilize within Wirecast. So I just wanted to show you that. Also, inside of Wirecast now, we have the replay feature. And so let's go into the settings before we activate it. So these are the different settings that you have within replay. So those of you that are wanting to do sports and whatnot, you can set it to standard or high. Capture the audio in the replay. A lot of people, and that's not checked by default because a lot of people, especially sports, they have commentators that talk over the audio of the replay. They don't want to hear in slow motion or the audio of the replay. So they will, we don't need that checked. The other thing to keep in mind here too is the maximum duration. If you look, it's limited to 1 minute. So what that does is it records a buffer of 1 minute. And then after that minute's over, if you didn't utilize or didn't use the instant replay, it erases it and starts the next minute over. So if you choose unlimited, keep in mind, this is how many gigabytes per hour that you're going to use, meaning it's just going to keep buffering and recording that. So you could pull from a replay 5 minutes back, 6 minutes back, whatever. So just keep that in mind. The limit here is at 1 minute is going to use 6.88 gigabytes. So just make sure you have enough room. The replay folder, you can choose what folder that you want the replay to be stored in. Also, the duration for the replay is defaulted to 30 seconds. And so you could choose that to whatever you want. If you're doing sports, you can create a replay and have it go to whatever master layer that you want. What I tend to do is, like right here, I have a new playlist, which is a playlist that we were working with before. You could create a playlist called Halftime. And so every replay shot, let's say you're doing highlights. Let's say the football team, they're down in the red zone and they're about to score a touchdown. So you're going to start recording that as a replay. You could then have those clips deposited inside of the halftime playlist, and then during halftime you could throw your ads in there and all the highlights from the game, and you've created your halftime show while you're producing the show. So it's a really cool feature to choose where your replay shots can go. For now, let's put it on master layer 3, since that's the one I'm working out of. After creating the replay shot, you can choose whether to show it in preview, activate replay manually, record, or broadcast. So obviously, we're going to do it manually. We're not going to have it go on when you click record or broadcast. When deleting the replay shot, you can choose whether to have it ask you to keep the recording, or just automatically keep the recording, or delete the recording. And the replay shot template, there's Intensity Pro or Police Standby. That's what's listed. So I'm just going to click OK, and then we're going to come up here to replay, and we're going to click activate. So now, as you can see, there's a new toggle here, and that's been created. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit go on this, and I'm going to, wait a little bit, because as soon as I hit this, it probably hasn't gotten to 30 seconds yet. So it's seeing my audio. You can see it jumping around there. So now I'm going to hit the replay. And so what it's done is it's created this replay shot over here in the preview. Meanwhile, everything's going in program, and I can kind of scrub through here and see where I want it to replay at. Let's say here, just so you guys can see the transition and whatnot. Let's see here. We'll go to that. Okay. So you can also click the magnifying glass here and adjust the timeline frames via that as well. I like to use the caret. That's just me personally. And then we're going to speed it up 2 times, and that just shows you what the clip is. So now, since this is a replay shot, I'm going to double click it, and I'm going to come in here just like you would any other asset with video, and I'm just going to set it to loop just so we can kind of see what it's going to do. So now I'm going to click go, and you can see there it's looping that replay. It's a whole, I think it's a second and a half. So it comes in really handy. You can slow it down. You can go down to 0.25, and let's hit go on that. You can see that it's taking a lot longer. So if you wanted to, you could, play it back slower, faster, and it's really neat. So you can even preview it over here by hitting play and preview just to see what it's going to look like and fine-tune it, which is what I like to do. So replay, very simple. Now, the question comes up, so, okay, Steve, well, let's go to a blank shot here because that's going to drive me nuts. Let's turn off replay. We're going to deactivate it. So what happens if I accidentally delete the shot out of Wirecast? It pops up, it says replay shot. Would you like to remove the replay recording that are associated with this shot? Yes. Oops, I accidentally deleted it. But if you go into your Finder, or Windows equivalent, under your movies, because that's where it was set, you'll see there's a replay in here. If you take this manifest file and drag it back into Wirecast, that replay file will be available again for you. Now, you will have to set your in and out points and your cue points again. That's just kind of the way it goes. But you have it back to where it's editable. So that manifest file comes in handy. So if you have a TA that's very new to this and they accidentally delete it,
turn your computer into a television studio with Wirecast. Bring in your cameras, add titles, green screen, and other effects, and stream it live to the internet through major websites and content delivery networks like YouTube, Ustream, Microsoft Azure, Akamai, Twitch, and many more. Let's see how easy it is to get started with Wirecast.
This is my homework.
Main homework झालेलं आहे.
Do my homework, Alma. Come on, let me do find some more.
Which homework are you doing?
DM homework.
Which homework are you supposed to do?
I'll tell you tomorrow.
What about the that's due Wednesday?
I can finish that today, Alma.
Okay, here.
Let me first finish this one thing and then I'm done, okay?
You finish your math tuition.
Of course.
Okay. Here. What are you trying to do? Set up cameras all over school?
No, Mama.
Then?
I'm trying to set it up for next year.
Correct.
Can you just stop?
I want you to finish your
You don't know what I'm doing, so don't comment. Mama, I'm trying to set it up, Mama. I don't know how to do it, so I'm trying to learn how to do it.
Can you finish your real homework, please?
This is real homework.
This is not a bike.
Mommy,
this is
I can finish everything. Stop. Why are you being so stressed, Mama? Have I gotten a late grade this semester now, right? Just trust me.
You are welcome to follow along or pause this video as we add cameras, audio, and graphics, then stream it all live to our audience on the web. Before you begin, make sure your cameras, video capture cards, and audio sources are all plugged in and ready to go. Wirecast accepts a nearly unlimited number of audio and video sources. Most cameras will require a capture card, so make sure you have the necessary hardware installed before you begin. More information can be found on our website. When you first open Wirecast, you will see a preview window, a live window, and 5 layers for setting up your shots. While there is no correct way to set up your layers, it is important to keep in mind that each layer will overlay the layers below it, which will come in handy when you want to add graphics or logos to your stream. Let's start by adding a live camera shot. I'm keeping it simple by using my Logitech USB webcam, which plugs directly into my computer without a capture card. In the third layer, hover over the plus sign to have the 4 buttons appear. Click the camera icon to display a list of connected video devices. As long as your camera is connected to Wirecast, it will show up in the resulting menu. Click on the camera you want, and it will automatically show up in your layer. After adding a camera, we need to add audio. I'm putting audio on the layer below my live shot because it is not a graphic and will filter up through the layers without being obscured by anything above it. Hover over the plus icon in the 4th layer, but this time click the speaker icon and choose from the resulting list of connected audio devices. I'm going to choose my Blue Yeti USB mic. Click your shot to enable the preview audio, then check the audio meter to the left of the preview window to see that your microphone is recognized and working with Wirecast. Now that we have the audio and video, we can add some graphics in the upper layers to overlay a bit of information in our shot. Let's start by adding a graphic in the first layer. I'm going to use the Wirecast logo. Hover over the plus icon once again and choose the document icon, then click Add Picture Shot. Once you have selected your image, add it to the layer. To customize the image to fit our screen, double-click the new shot you have just created. This will bring up the shot editor, where in the Configure Visual Effects tab, you can press and hold the Command key on a Mac or the Alt key on a Windows machine. Click the image, then move the mouse to adjust the image size. Next, click the image and drag it to the bottom right corner. I want my image to be semi-transparent, so we can drag the opacity slider to around 50% and exit out of the shot editor. In the second layer, let's add a title. Hover over the plus sign and click the document icon once again. This time, select a new shot to make a blank shot. Double-click your shot to open the shot editor. This time you will be prompted to choose from one of many pre-made templates. For this purpose, choose the full screen option. In the control panel, click the T button. This will display a list of pre-made graphics to choose from. I'm going to choose Ivory Title. For future reference, graphics like this are referred to as lower thirds. Now click on the T button in the Attributes panel to add text to your lower third. In this case, I'm going to use the title of this video and my name. Now close the shot editor window. If you click each new shot to make sure the green dot is highlighted, you can see the full composite shot in the preview pane. We are now ready to stream. At the top of the Wirecast window, click the Stream button. In the pop-up window, choose your preferred streaming destination. I'm going to use my Ustream.tv account. Enter your credentials and click the stream button one last time to start your first broadcast. Don't forget to send your shot live by clicking the Go Live button. Here's the URL for my broadcast so I can send it to my friends and fans. And that's how easy it is to start streaming with Wirecast. Your audience is waiting.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. This is Rose Sponder. I'm on the marketing team here at Telestream, and I'd like to welcome you to our webinar, What's New in Wirecast 6? I would like to introduce Andrew Haley. Andrew is a desktop application specialist here at Telestream, and Andrew takes care of our technical pre-sales, our training, and support for customers, distributors, and resellers. And before working at Telestream, Andrew has worked as a technology and digital media teacher. He has a really deep background in film and digital media production environments, so Andrew is very familiar. So,
everybody hear me okay? Guys, thanks for coming. An exciting. So, first, I'd like to just give you a brief background. I'll make it quick about the company that makes Wirecast, Foothill Tahoe, 98 DNA. That we do products and their way into what it does, technology and desktop products. So, you might want to check other ones out if you haven't tried them or heard of them. You can see from the wheel here that Wirecast handles kind of the right side in the live production, live encoding, but we try to offer something for everyone in all video workflows, whether you're in code flow, it's great. So I'm Telestream. All right, the star of the show today is definitely Wirecast. This is an award-winning product. In fact, it just won for the third or fourth consecutive year in a row the Streaming Media Readers' Choice Award for Best On-Premises Live Web Broadcaster. So it's probably the market leader, most well-known streaming desktop solution software and improve the and purchases. In fact, I'm using Wirecast right now to publish to the webcam. So Wirecast is actually taking my screen where I'm running these slides and publishing it through a media workflow, which you see on the left there, and then it's making that available to my webcam through our GoToWebinar software. So it's extremely versatile, and it can sit in the middle of a media production workflow really well. Your basic workflow here, as you can see from the overview, are to plug in your cameras or audio microphones or sources, or in my case, my screen here, and so going in on screen, stream it with microphone, secure user. So the new features in Wirecast 6, this is where it gets exciting. This release has over 19 major 20. We've added that slogan with 20, and so I encourage you to do that. Obviously, keep your comments appropriate. The new Blue is a new plugin. It's going to get never do no animation. I encourage you to check out that plugin. It doesn't come integrated in Wirecast, and I'll discuss that. It's something you would buy as an extra add-on, but it's available for either Studio or Pro. And finally, our iOS webcam app. So going to be live or still images or video clips, and set them in a sequence and control when they switch and in the demo to a commercial, and then go to playlists, so you can actually go pretty deep with this and customize it quite nicely. The powerful replay and slow motion and fast motion effect, this is something that's been requested by a lot of our sports users for a long time, which is the ability to create an instant replay and then set a speed for it, and then output it to your live output, and do this all quickly and easily in high quality. And with 6, we have achieved that, I think. So if you are in the sports world, this is a huge feature for you. And the graphics from 20 iron set their new hashtag if you want, which is what we'll be doing, and handpick and rotate messages in and out of it on the screen in a set amount of time, or just pick the ones you want and send those live. So it's pretty neat. And as I mentioned earlier, the new Blue Tyler plugin, this is $299 US. If you wanted to put a price there, just so you know that is the cost for adding it to either Studio or Pro. So it's not respective of which version you're buying. You still a lot of own temp, motion, animation, textures, keyframing, and lighting. This is something that you will be able to. Our Wirecast camera app. This is going to be an iOS only app for now. We don't have plans to put hands in this app as well. So it's a really well-designed camera with Wirecast Pro. Wirecast 4. And then the Pro is $995. The upgrade prices are what changed a little bit, and this can be a little confusing if you're not used to the new changes or upgrading. You got an upgrade with us before, but you can certainly contact our sales team, and we'd be happy to assist you on finding which upgrade applies to you. So it's basically $149 is from Studio 5 to Studio 6 version. Jump off. Make sure that previous. So the $190 prior to 5, or if you're jumping to 6 Pro from an earlier Pro version, such as 4 or 3, that would be $399. So again, any questions, just contact us. We'll be happy to help you. With that, I'd like to jump into the demo and show you what this is all about. So let's get this set up here. I'm going to minimize this slide. And what I'd first like to show you, I'm going to bring up my Wirecast UI here. So this is Wirecast 6 UI. As you can see, with 5 we did a lot of changes to the UI, and we pretty much kept those intact with 6. We made all the master layers available. If you hadn't tried 5, you'll see that's a little bit different than it was in 4, so you're no longer clicking into drawers. And you can see here I have the preview window on the left and the live window on the right, as well as I'm just going to be working on these top 2 layers, although we do have 5 layers available. So you can see there's lots to work with Wirecast if you're compositing things. Now, I'd like you to pretend here that I have cameras connected, but in fact these are just clips that of different plays. But basically, let's just pretend they're camera 1, camera 2, and camera 3. As usual, you can switch between them and composite scoreboards and that sort of thing. So let's pretend we're shooting a football game, an American football game, and but again, a lot of these features that I'm going to show you would apply to other workflows or other types of content. But I think for our purposes, we're going to pretend it's sports today. So the first thing that I'd like to show you is the playlists. Now, on the right here, I have a playlist that I've already set up. But creating a playlist is really easy. You can actually just drag and drop a simple clip on top of another, and that would, or a camera. So if these were live cameras, the same thing would apply. You can drag and drop one shot onto another, and you'll see this highlighted yellow box. If I just let go, it will create a playlist. You can see the playlist by the indicator here in the top left corner. That is a really, that's what basically distinguishes a playlist from something else. If you double click a playlist, it will open the playlists window. And this is where you can set the times, the durations, and all of the controls for the playlist, as well as the transitions. If you're wanting to set a transition for a playlist, you can right-click and set a duration for a shot. So if this was a live shot rather than just a clip, or even just a clip, I can actually modify the duration into hours, minutes, and seconds. So I can customize how long that clip will play before transitioning to the next one. And whether I want to cut or a smooth or fade or dissolve transition is also possible. So that is one really easy way to create a playlist. So any shot can be dragged and dropped right into a playlist window. I'm actually going to pull this up a little and then go to the window. So if you had a playlist window down below here, and again, I'm just going to show that, you could drag and drop a shot right into it, and that would add, and you can reorder shots within playlists. The other way to do it is simply by going to this document button on the 4-up display. If you hover over a plus button, you get to choose which type of source you want to add. And in the lower right corner are documents. And in this one, you can actually add new playlists. Sorry, looks like the new playlist shot is available here. So I'm going to make this larger again so you can all see what I'm doing. So the next thing that you want to be aware of is, let's just open this playlist and see how it goes. I'm going to actually make sure that I'm set up here. And you can see what I've done here. I'm going to make these icons a little larger. And you can see, let's just run through a sort of a standard playlist you might do at a game or something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through this playlist as if we were at a football game, and add some commercials and go from there. So the first thing, let's just send it live. Okay, so welcome today. We're at the Cardinals versus Ravens, and so far we're in the third quarter, and the score is exciting, 21-28. And now